Machine.
Hi there, it's Claire here, and welcome to Hot Pod Time Machine. This is the podcast where we discuss a decision from our past which changed our future. And in this episode, I'm very happy to welcome the wonderful It's Fairy. Hello.
Hey.
Hello there. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. You know, I don't often have streamers on the podcast, but I asked you because I only ask people I vibe with.
Aw.
And we met last year and it was amazing to meet you. Have you met many people via Twitch?
No, you're the first and the only one so far, so I'm very I'm very excited for this.
Oh, was I the first one?
Yeah, the first and the only one so far because I'm living in Greece, so not so many people are coming in here.
Oh my god, well, you're gonna have to go to a TwitchCon at some point for sure.
I have to, but I was thinking big and I was saying I'm gonna go to San Diego. That never happened, so I said, I'm gonna go to another TwitchCon. I want to go there. So
Heck yeah, there's TwitchCon Vegas end of October, I think.
I know, but it's too late now.
I know. I'm gonna be living closer to there soon, and I was thinking about it, but it was so. I always get very nervous about meeting people on stream. I've met quite a few people on stream because I always feel like I'm going to be very disappointing. Do you have that where you think, oh, maybe they won't like me as much because I've not got all the buttons and I don't have all the green screen stuff? Do you know what I mean?
That's a good thought. I didn't thought of the green screen and stuff. That was interesting. But I'm a super introverted person when I'm not going live or going on stage and stuff. So I don't usually talk to people that I don't know, and I'm very shy when I meet them. So if nobody initiates the conversation, I'm not the one who's gonna do it. So yeah, I would be super stressed to meet somebody IRL and with you as well. I was like, I hope this is gonna go well because I like her so much, and I hope that I'm gonna, engage and stuff in the conversation. But it was like so natural. We clicked like this.
It was so easy actually because I get a little bit nervous as well, and I think, oh God, I am an introvert, but I am good at talking. I mean, I can talk if I need to talk, which is good for my job, but
Yes.
inside, when you're talking, but inside you're just going, oh my God, I'm dying, I hate this. Sometimes you meet someone and you think it's not their fault, it's just the chemistry isn't good. And I'm thinking, I've asked you all the questions, I can't ask you any more questions. Oh my God, it's horrible. What do you do? What do you do in those situations? Do you make an excuse to leave or do you keep going?
No, I always keep going, and I always keep the conversation going when it's started by somebody else or when I have to do something like it's a job or something. But when I see a person that is not that talkative or the chemistry is not there, I invent imaginary kind of questions like, what would you do if that happens? Would you rather do this or, and I keep going like this until they talk.
I think some people just, I was at a party years ago. It was a birthday party in a bar, and it was a friend of mine and my ex's friend, and we put them together, and they talked for a little bit, and then they just shut up, and they were sitting with each other in silence, and I was looking at them. Yeah, I wasn't even part of this conversation, but I was feeling awkward looking at them. Later on, I asked them both, oh, what did you think of, And they were like, oh, they were so great, loved it. And I was thinking, maybe it's just, do they talk with their mind or I don't know.
Yeah, like I missed the party? Like, what happened?
I'm like, maybe they don't talk with their mouths. Maybe they were just like, just staring at I don't know. But I was looking at it going, you freaks, why are you not talking to each other?
They are talking with their minds or their eyes or something. I see that in a lot of people. Like they seem like they don't have any fun. And when you ask them later, they're gonna tell you like, "Ooh, it was great. It was awesome. I had such a good time." I'm like, where was the fun part? I missed it.
I think it's because of what you and I do as well. You have to pick up on people's body language. you are really watching them to see how they are. And when I interview someone, I do lots of research to see online on YouTube how they are before I interview them, because I don't want to go in and not get a vibe of who they are, you know. So
Exactly.
you're sort of studying that because you want to make them feel comfortable. I can't stand feeling uncomfortable. I think that's it.
Yeah. It's really awkward, and especially with people that you never knew before.
Oh my God, 100%. But coming back to the podcast, now this is about a decision from our past which changed our future. Before you talk about the actual thing that you want to talk about, when I asked you this question, what sorts of decisions went through your mind? Because we make decisions all the time. So what came to your mind before you landed on the one?
So first of all, when I when I had this question in my head was like your background right now. That was my head, 100%. I was like, wait, what? Should I have just one decision? And I kind of flash forward my whole life and the decisions. And have you played this game, Heavy Rain or
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human? It was like a huge tree full of decisions that actually defined my life. I feel like my life is a huge domino of weird decisions that I made. Like one thing brought the other. So I was like, okay, let's just have one decision. I was like, okay, the day that I was born, it's
That was a pretty that well, you didn't make that decision, you know what I'm
no,
saying?
no, no. I didn't make that decision, but they say that you are deciding the parents that you should have, so everything starts there. So,
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to come back to that thought after we talk about your decision, because I quite like that idea, because I can get very hippie about things like that. I love hippie talk. I love hippie chat.
yes, me too.
God, so we'll come back to that thought, but before we
All
do,
right.
tell me, what is the decision you want to talk about that changed your future?
Okay, so after lots of thinking, I decided that the one that is most appropriate to discuss about is going to be this one. So, as I told you before, I'm super introverted, but at the same time, I'm a creative person. I like doing stuff. And also, I was a gamer my whole life. So, there comes a point where, decision by decision, I am at a place where I'm writing reviews and stuff about video games on websites and local magazines here in Greece. And so my work was that at that point. But I was behind the cameras, behind everything. I was just writing and keeping in my safe zone. And I was in a gaming event here in Greece, a really huge one. And there was also stage presentations and people that are going to the stage, and there was a host of the stage, which one was my boss back then. So he was the main presenter of the whole event and all. So he comes to me one day of the event and he tells me like, you know what? I have to go somewhere for like 5 minutes. So can you cover me on stage? I was like, me on stage? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm not gonna go there. And he was like, you can do it. You can do it. You have it. It's oh my God. And I was like, okay. First of all, I decided that I probably had stage fright or something. So I said, okay, let's do it. But the decision there was not only to go on stage, but also I was like, okay, now we have two things. One, I go on stage, I say nothing, and I mess my words and everything. Thought number two, I go on stage and I go and say every bull that is coming to my head at that point. I just spit it out no matter what, and I'm trying to to make something happen because it was like 1K people watching on that stage.
Wow, that was your first time on the stage.
It was my first time, and it was like, go there right now. I'm gonna be out for 5 minutes. Cover me up, say something, whatever. You have it. And I didn't have a plan. I didn't have anything to say. Nobody knew me at that point.
Oh my goodness. So describe you're walking onto the stage then. How was that feeling for you?
Oh my God. Like, it was, first of all, I was showering because I was so nervous. And I almost was ready to cry at that point because the stress was so much. So one moment I have the microphone, we say that it works and everything, and I'm like, what is going to be the first word that I'm going to say? I like words didn't even come out of my mouth. I felt like Eminem in that movie. It was
Oh,
so weird. So I decided to say, I don't even know what I said. I think I said hello. And when the first applause came in, when I said hello, and everything, I was like, oh, they're clapping. I must have done something good. So let's keep going. So I saw it like a rock star at that point. And I was like saying things that to me didn't even make made sense at that point. I just was like, "Are you having a good time?" And they were like, "Yeah." Really now? Is that how it works? So then
interesting.
I kept going and kind of asking them questions, and they were responding. And then I was so much more confident, and I was like, "Oh my God, I love that. It's so cool, you know?"
It's
Oh
a
gosh.
interesting, a very interesting feeling being on stage, regardless of if you're an extrovert or an introvert. It's very, it feels like you can adopt a different
Yeah.
persona. You really, I think some people are very natural at it and some people are not. I've seen some people go up who are presenters as well, and they don't command the stage as well, but they're very good in front of a camera. They're very good
Yeah.
in radio. But to command the stage, you have to be as big as the stage. You have to really make yourself bigger and forget your ego and think nobody cares about what's going on in here. Nobody cares about
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
So from that
Exactly.
point onwards, where did that take you? So did that give you the boost of confidence to move to a different direction?
Well, at first, when I kept going with questions to the audience and with interactivity with them and stuff, in like 5 to 7 minutes, we had so much of a connection that when when the presenter, the actual presenter, my boss by that time, came into the event, he saw me, and that was the picture that he saw when he came back, and he was expecting me to go, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So he saw me dancing on stage and everybody else, like 1K people, doing the same moves that I was doing, and he was like, what the heck did you just do there? How? Like, take the stage is yours. So by that time, and for the whole week that the event was going on, I was the main presenter of a stage, and it was like, it was so amazing. I had the best time. And that happened for like 3 to 4 years. And I ended up presenting more and more gaming events. And that led me to the thought that, first of all, I love going on stage, and as it is like the contrast between a person who cannot initiate a discussion one to one with a person face to face, but they can host a huge show in front of more than 1K people. And that opened up my head, and I was like, okay, so you like this, and this is like I felt like I was in the right place for the first time in my life. Although I've studied graphic design and I've done stuff that I loved throughout all of these years, music, radio, whatever, I felt like this moment was my moment was where the spot where I was supposed to be. So I was thinking about it and all, and that led me to the decision that I should host shows, that I should host events, that I should present stuff. So at first it became like a job, me hosting and presenting events. And then when I wanted to go alone and do stuff by myself, there comes Twitch and content creation and something that I truly love, because it is like the stage is my house, it's like this place, and everybody else is out there. So I love it.
And it's perfect. I think Twitch, especially during COVID, really highlighted the fact you can do anything you want from home. But if you're an introvert and you have that in you, not that you couldn't be on a stage, clearly you had the talent to go on a stage and you had the love and passion for it. But it's an introvert's dream. I love streaming in my pajamas. I just change the top and I keep like the pajama bottoms on, maybe do the makeup. That's it. And
Exactly.
I love it. I've loved it so much. But like, what is it, do you think that it's a weird feeling, right? So when you love someone and you love something, sorry, and you know that you found your calling, what is that feeling for you? For me, it's not an obsession, that's a hard word, but I can't stop thinking about it in a way. I'm like, how more, I want a bit more. And I don't think it's ego driven. I don't know what it is. I can't say that it's because you want to be the center of attention. It's nothing to do with that.
No, no.
How would you describe that for you?
I describe it as having the time and the moment that you're doing this, you feel the adrenaline, you feel like you have all of your senses to the 100%, and it's not an obsession or something. It's like excitement, and at the same point, it is passion as well. You feel hungry, you feel thirsty to do what you're supposed to do, and you're always want to be better, learn, check out other people that are doing the same thing, not because you're jealous, of course, but because you want to get some ideas, to get some everything. So it's the passion and the hunger. That's how I call it, the hunger.
Yeah, I think that hunger feels like almost like your brain is waking up. Because I've so often said this, because I talk to so many creative people on this podcast, that every day it can be very boring. We do the same boring things every day. And so when you do something out of the normal schedule, something that's out of the norm, standing on a stage in front of thousands of people, or pushing yourself to do something very scary, it's a great feeling. Do you feel that you're maybe a bit of, like a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. It's like going to the fun fair. You're scared at first, then the adrenaline goes up here. You're so scared and excited at the same time. You are screaming out of excitement and fear, and then it stops and you go off and you're like, "Can I come back and go one more? Just one more, please?" So yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like the dopamine hit. You're constantly chasing the dopamine hit. I love that, and I love that feeling. And it's funny that I had a similar experience when I did MCM Comic Con. I was given the chance to do it. I'd already interviewed celebrities and things. I had never stood on a stage, and I stood in front of 1,500 people. It was the first time to interview Sebastian Stan. And I went on, and it's funny, like it's like somebody takes over your body. I was so nervous before. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But also, if you go on stage and you're shaking and you don't know how to speak, people are going to pick up on that real fast, like really fast. But what about other stage work, stand up or comedy or anything like that? Have you tried anything like that, or have you wanted to?
No, like stand-up comedy and stuff, I don't like. I feel like I'm not kind of so much funny, so I don't think that it'll suit me. But what I was watching and I really wanted to do was be a presenter on event like E3, Uh, damn, E3 is not there though, but kind of gaming events or events that I have interest about their topic. So that's what I wanted to do. And also host shows and stuff. Not particularly on TV though, because I've been on TV, not having my own show, but I've been invited and stuff. And I was like, it's kind of boring, I can say.
Television is such a sort of, I'm fascinated still by the process of television. When I go to a studio, I love looking at things and like seeing how everything works and the cameras and the way the director interacts with,
Yeah.
the floor manager who's interacting with. I love all that, the symbiosis of
Yeah.
everyone. I think it's really interesting, but nothing really interesting. I don't know what it's like in Greece. I feel it's probably the same as the UK. Nothing really interesting is being made
Yeah.
anymore for
Exactly.
normal TV. And I would say, even now on streaming platforms, I really don't think that I mean, there is some really good stuff, but it's so much stuff that I don't
Yeah.
want to watch it anymore. Do you know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired. Would you feel the same? Okay, if you were to pitch something to Netflix, pitch something to Amazon or whatever, what would you pitch to them to stand out?
Well, I would definitely go with something plot twisted, with something that we don't expect what's going to happen the next minute. So that's everything that I watch on Netflix, movies, whatever. I'm with a mystery, the plot twist, the kind of true crime-ish, but even if it's not true, I'm fine with it. But about the thing that you said about streamers and content creation and stuff, it is true that I'm also getting bored while watching, and I'm always about what's new, something fresh, something that we've never seen before and stuff. And I've noticed that unlike Netflix, that you're turning on Netflix and it gives you all of the suggestions that you might like depending on what you just saw. It this is not happening exactly on YouTube and not at all on Twitch. So that eliminates a lot the options for us to watch to bump into something good. But I've done it and I ended up on a stream that I was like, oh my God, they're doing such a great job. And I'm looking at their viewership and they're like so low. And I'm thinking that this show is worth it so much. It's so much effort, it's so much talent, is everything. And is so underrated because other streams are going more popular and they're way more boring. So,
I think it's always been the case because I quite like underground culture. I like alternative things, and even growing up, it was always the case that it took a while to find something that you loved in a record store, movie, whatever. It was harder then because I
yeah.
couldn't Google it. You know what it was like. But now, yes, it's Googleable. It is there. It's just hidden underneath all of the stuff. So it's almost like it's the same problem, but the process is different to try and find these things. I find myself now on YouTube really trying hard to try and
Yeah.
find like really good content. And then I think because we're trained to just like watch things very short, I go, oh, I get bored, like, which is terrible, which is so terrible. But you mentioned like sort of mystery stuff and like true crime. I was on your Twitch channel doing, it was the sort of puzzle stuff, and it was all kind of like horror sort of based. Have you always liked that kind of stuff? When was the first time that you thought, I love this? This is my thing.
Yeah. So it was the first time that I played a horror game because I always loved horror movies, but I was always watching them, just watching them, not being a part of them. But in horror games, I felt like I was a part of it and I never wanted to stop playing them. But game after game, there was kind of, patterns that I was watching there. And then I was like, okay, I want something new. I don't want the same pattern. So then I decided to search some other stuff. So I went to hundreds of escape rooms, and I'm always into the mysteries, something that is plot twisted and stuff. And then I found true crime documentaries that I loved so much. But I'm still wondering, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on with people, me included, that we love so much watching like crimes. It's weird. I feel like I'm not a good person or something. I don't know.
I think it's the idea of looking at something morbid or thinking about the unthinkable. It's quite shocking and it's unnatural. Some people don't like watching those things at all, and they will say, "I hate horror movies. I don't like true crime." Fine, but I find personally, maybe it's the same for you. There is like a morbid curiosity. So I kind of like go, why did that human feel like that? Why
Yeah.
did they want to do that? And there's something interesting in the goriness about it, which sounds terrible, but it's just a morbid curiosity and fascination. I don't like things that are. I'll tell you what the true horror is for me in terms of content. The true horror is reality television and crap like
Oh,
that. That's true evil. If hell exists, it's not full of horror games or horror movies. If hell exists, it's full of reality TV singers. I am telling you. I am telling you. That's hell for me. What's hell for you then, Ferry? What is hell for you?
well, um, I really haven't thought about it. Like I have too many categories of people that they should go there and they belong there. But I'm gonna say that for me, it is all of these people that are trying to be opinionated on social media, but they actually don't have a clue about what they're saying, what they stand up for, and they're just doing it for clout. I think this is my choice for hell.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're putting reality television singers, stars, and programs in the bin. We're going to put people that do things for clout. Oh my god. I can't stand it. And that I think is the worst thing. You know, everybody's going, oh, Twitter, oh no, it's now X. I don't care. I actually
No.
don't care. I could not care less if it all went tomorrow. As long as I can
Yeah.
contact my friends and I can still work, I don't really care. I'm like,
Exactly.
it's so stupid. And I find when you have conversations like we are having or you meet real people, everybody thinks the same. But it's like a very loud minority online going, look at me, look at me. It's just, oh, it's the worst, Fairy. It's the worst. Oh my God. Do you still go on social media and even say anything anymore?
First of all, I stopped visiting Twitter long before Elon takes over because it stinks. Like, it's all drama. And if it was real drama and if it was something that it had a point, I was gonna be like, okay, it's something that is happening. But I hate the fake drama, the drama that we have to post something in order to create it, to create drama. Like, I hate that. And because people are getting canceled just like this, I'm not into this boat whatsoever. So I kind of hated Twitter, but at the same point, I have to have a presence just because I'm working on this stuff. But I don't really know if I'll get back to it. Other than that, like Facebook is like for news and my mom.
Yeah. Instagram's okay. I don't mind Instagram. That's
Instagram is okay, but it's really confusing because Instagram made for pictures and we'll see everything else but pictures there.
I know actually they've changed it now. Although I will say this, as a single lady in 2023, the Instagram algorithm knows me. It knows me. It's all existential stuff about like, you know, just like vibrations and manifestations, or it's like, don't trust someone that does this. Don't trust. And I'm like, yes, yes, yeah, man, yes, yes. So I go
Yeah.
between the kind of the two, and I love it. Or it's just like, I don't know, like deep fake Arnold Schwarzenegger faces like singing songs. That's my
Yeah, I get
algorithm.
you.
That is my algorithm. I'll start sending you reels on
Oh,
Instagram
yeah.
to give you a flavor. Speaking of hippie stuff, I want to go back to the beginning. It's not so hippie, I think, but you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, which interests me. You were like, well, some people believe that you choose the parents. So that's your
Mhm.
first decision, I
Yeah,
guess, to be born
exactly.
into. So explain what you mean by that. Because I want, for those, I think I know what you mean, but for those who might not, explain.
Mhm. So I'm going to start this with a lot of people are saying because I haven't decided yet in which side am I, but I'm tend to believe it after seeing and hearing some stuff. So there are some people that are saying, and there's lots of them that all of the babies or the people are like out there, like above us. And when it is that they have to come to Earth, they decide in which family are they going to go with.
Oh.
So this is the this is the urban legend, I should say. So they say that they decide their parents, and they decide their parents not because they're watching them. They're like, oh, she's beautiful. I'm gonna be a beautiful kid. Not like that, but spiritually and also karma wise, depending on their previous lives as well.
Ah, okay. So this is very closely aligned to my theory. Before I go on, the thought of scary ghost babies flying in the sky, waiting, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a great horror movie waiting to be written. Just scary, just like, just,
Oh God.
it's a scary ghost babies going, whoa, going straight in. All right, see you later, Jim. See you later, Kevin. All right, I'll see you later. All right, bye, bye. Just like off, whoop, off they go, get sucked up. Um, Scary ghost babies for the win. But
Oh yeah.
I have a book called Past Life Astrology, and what you've said to me is very closely aligned with what this book says. I'll take some pictures of some pages and send them to you. So if you know your birth chart, you can tell where your soul has been, and you can tell what lessons it needs to learn. For example, my moon sign is Capricorn. I'm a Libra, but my moon sign is Capricorn. And that's then closely connected, your moon sign, to how your mother is with you and what lessons you need to learn around the mother. And there's all of these different theories. So interesting. And you go along the astrological wheel until you go through every sign and every lesson, and then you move on to the next thing. And you don't do it in order. It's whatever. So it's not like in order of the zodiac. It's wherever you go, because your soul needs to learn the lesson of an Aries or someone with this place.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Do you into astrology and things like that? Does that kind of speak to you in a way?
Like I haven't searched about it astrologically or something, and like I believe in astrology in a way that I know that the planets and the stuff, they tell something about who we are or where we're gonna end up. But I don't believe the fact that oh, you're an Aquarius this week, you're gonna have food luck and stuff. I don't believe that part. But the characteristics and the common characteristics, who can say that there aren't like they're very common. So that makes a point about what I said as well. The thing that you read on this book, which send me the pages. I am so interested to read them. But yeah, it's the lessons that every person needs to learn some lessons, and I tend to believe that they should learn these lessons depending on what they did in their previous lives, because I kind of believe that there are. So, yeah.
So, Ferry, since you believe in floating ghost babies in the sky that choose their parents,
Hmm.
for karmic lessons, what do you
Yes.
think your karmic lesson is in this life as a former
Oh,
ghost baby?
oh shoot, that's hard, and I don't even know if I got it already because uh we never know when we're gonna get the real lesson, but because it's been hard with decisions, with stuff that are happening in families and with life and stuff like that. One of the things that I think that I learned the hard way was that never compromise and never take stuff for granted, not even if it is the water in your bottle. Don't take it for granted, because at some point you might lose it just like that, and then you're gonna appreciate it and hunt for it, and it would be so hard to find it. So I'm trying, because it's so difficult, because there are so many things that we own and we have for granted and we don't even notice sometimes. It's like the air that we're breathing and the oxygen, the fact that we are uh, people that were having the brain to think the basics, like everything. So I try to be grateful every day and to think one by one all of this stuff, to make sure that I'm grateful about them and I appreciate them. Because when COVID came in, uh it wasn't hard for me because I was doing what I was doing from home anyway. But what was different was like when I went to my balcony, I had a breath of fresh air. I was like, oh my god, it almost feels illegal. And I was shocked by that point, because I was like, oh my God. And I was walking all day, having walks on parks, on the sea and everything. And I was breathing this air, and I never said thank you for breathing in it. So kind of tiny stuff like that. And from this tiny stuff to way bigger ones, you always have to be grateful, and you always have to remember and have your mind to the things that you're having, because they are enough. And you should remember this. That's one of the life lessons I had.
I love that. I love that because I think that not a lot of people learn that so young, so early, maybe laterally in their latter years. I know that my
Yeah.
my dad, for example, a number of years ago, my dad's quite old now, apologized for things or is now seemingly more grateful for things that he wasn't grateful for before, but is learning that so late in life.
Yeah.
And then it makes me think, oh God, do I still have like another like 3 million lessons to go until I get to that age? But if you could fast forward to you in your bed as an 80-year-old, just kind of with people around you that you love telling stories, where would you like to see yourself? What kind of life would you like to lead going forward if you had to jump forward with all the decisions that we make and all the karma that we learn? Where do you want to be? Family, no family, well traveled, work based? What do you think?
Like, I want to be uh well fed, and I don't mean food wise, I mean experience wise, to be full of experiences and not regretting stuff that I didn't do because I didn't have time, because I was working. I didn't call my mom enough because I was doing so many things, and I didn't uh, traveled to the places that I wanted because it was like I had to deliver a project and stuff, because we're working so damn hard, and we're lost in this loophole with all of the things that are happening, and everything goes so fast paced that at the end of the day, you might, and me included, you might see this phone call from your mom and say, oh, okay, I'll call you later, I'm busy now. And when you're 80, you might regret this, and you might be saying, oh my god, I didn't have enough time and everything. And I don't have enough time with my mom, to be honest. And sometimes I feel bad about it and I'm trying. Or sometimes I say, oh, I'm not going to go out today with my friends that they're going to gather because I'll have to finish this video game. I'm like, are you serious now? These are experiences and this is a video game that you're going to play anyway. So I want to be full of experiences, and I don't have any plans for families to answer your question, but I never say never. So if it happens, it happens. That means that I thought it well enough to do it. But at this point, no families like this. This one is my only kid right now.
Yes, yes. Inflatable alien. There's enough ghost babies in the sky. There's enough ghost babies in the sky for everyone.
I'll have enough friends. I'm good.
I don't want to be impregnated by a ghost baby. Like, quite frankly, no, that doesn't sound good. I think you should stick with the alien. Well, there are aliens now. It has been proven that there are actually aliens.
Yeah, I heard about it. I want to read a lot more about it, though. But yeah, I'm excited.
It's a thing. It's an actual thing. And like, it's crazy. I've not really talked too much about it. And there's not very many people talking about it because you know why? No one cares because they're thinking, I gotta pay my bills though. I've got to do. And it's kind of funny to me because watching films growing up with aliens and stuff was fascinating to me. X-Files, TV shows like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the grey aliens with the big black eyes. Oh my God, I was so scared. And to think that there could be actually life and now nobody cares. All they care about is the Barbie movie. That's what they really care.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That's all they care about.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it amazes me though that not so many people care not about the aliens, but about Barbie and about stuff that don't really matter. And I don't know.
It's
I
so
don't know.
silly. I
So
mean, it's fun, but I'm like,
I'm thinking if I'm gonna have a baby, is it gonna be excited about the Barbie movie or about something that is happening scientifically to the world? So I better not have it, you know?
no, I can't see if you ever had a child. I cannot see your child growing up being interested in corporate feminism and the Barbie movie. So no, I can see your child being interested in inflatable alien over there and ghost babies. So like. Yeah,
Exactly.
you mean there's ghost babies in the sky? Yes.
Yes, there are. And they're waiting. I hope they made a wise choice.
You better be good or the ghost babies are gonna come and get you. Like that's
Beware. I'm telling you.
I love it. Oh my God. I like the idea of ghost babies, like a ghost baby army just going down.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
God.
imagine if they're triples. And at the same time, they're going to
Yes.
suck at the same time.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh, like say I really want to see Ghost Baby 2 The Reckoning, Ghost Baby 3 Resurrection, Ghost Baby 4 Revenant. I'm sure there's a whole franchise, the Ghost Baby franchise.
Yeah,
What?
it could be.
We need-
If anybody's listening.
If anyone's listening, please make the Ghost Baby franchise just for me and Ferry, please. They're two fans. I want the t-shirt. It's a giant baby head.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
With like,
Definitely.
red glowing eyes. Anyway, Ferry, you've been wonderful. I knew you would be. I'm so happy that we got to be on this podcast talking about ghost babies. That's a first. That is great. So thank you. Guys, for those who don't know who Ferry is, all of the links will be in the description box on YouTube. If you're watching along on YouTube, just look down there and like, you know, click all the stuff. Please subscribe and like and all of that stuff. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Ferry, it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much.
It was an absolute pleasure, just like every time that we meet, even IRL or not IRL. I love it. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yay! Guys, this has been Hot Pod Time Machine. I'm Claire. This is Ferry. And we'll see you again soon. Bye!
Hot Pod Time time machine.